Just put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? Tell me what you're trying to do. 24-karat magic in the air. Head to toe so clear. Put your pinky rings up to the moon. WEFM, Universe Sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Alrighty, so time here in SVG, it is 8:10, quickly approaching 8:11, and we are heading into our political conversation series. This morning, we are joined by Mr. Andrew John, who is the NDP's candidate for South Windward. Good morning to you, Mr. John.
Good morning to you too, and thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. And we got a piece of news a while ago. Right, we got a piece of news a while ago. I would burst into song, but I don't want anybody to call the station and start complaining, all right? So I would just say, or we would just say, happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. I was trying to keep it on a low down and look right.
Yeah, well,
I am when it's announced.
We are on air, so unfortunately for you, yes, everybody knows now, okay?
Yes, but thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And we're happy that you've decided to spend at least part of your day and your birthday here with us, all right? We're going to go easy way and show. We're going to decide, right? Maybe that might be about the gift. We're going to see, all right?
That's a good start to the birthday, man. Good start.
Okay, lovely. All right. So we are in studio. It's Dianna Cain. Nicole Joseph Chin is joining us online, and myself, Roleza Samuel. So welcome to WEFM and welcome to the Activated Mornings program.
Thank you very much.
All right. So who is Andrew John?
Boy, Andrew John has been, well, I'm actually from the Marco Valley originally, and I'm presently residing in Argyle. I've been there for the past 30 years. Thus, my involvement as a politician for South Windward. You know, I started working as a teacher at the age of 18, actually pretty young, and I did it most of my adult life. So I retired in 2020 from teaching. Actually, I think I am satisfied with the job I did as a teacher, right? Because my job really was to inspire young people, to get people to perform to the best of their ability, right? And I think more so than not, I have succeeded in doing that. So at the end of my teaching career, I went on to work with the St. Vincent and Grenadines Teachers Union as an industrial relations officer. Now, when I got there, just like it was a natural transition because I had already been involved in education, and I spent 3 years there. And the teachers till now are still calling me. You would not believe I got a call yesterday thinking that I am part of the staff at the Teachers Union. Mm-hmm. You know, somebody was trying to get some information because I tend to make myself accessible to everybody. So Andrew John really have been a person who has been involved in every aspect of life in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because I talk a lot about teaching, but I am also a person who loves sports. I love agriculture. You know, I love to grow things. I love animals. So you have a set of dogs, you see me with a lot of goats and so on. I can't have any now because of the involvement in politics, which takes up all of your time, you know. But basically, because I span that area in the community, I find that people have been coming since about 2015 and have been asking me to get involved in active politics. I was trying to resist for a while.
10 years. All right. Okay.
Yeah, but then I became principal the same year. And I think at that time, I think I was more committed to my students, you know, at that time. But after retiring, and I wouldn't say I'm having more time on my hand because I only retired for about 10 days before I took up a new job. You know, but at some point you have to answer the call of the people. the people saying, boy, you're the best candidate for us. You can represent us based on your background and based on your personality, excuse me, based on your involvement in the community, you know. So I have heeded the call, and that's why I'm here. So that's basically who Andrew John is.
Okay.
Could give you a little more personal thing on the family side too, if you don't mind, because I've been married for 30 years. You see, that's why I'm in Argyle. The wife took me down there. We have 3 kids together, but I had one before. Well, they're no longer kids, they're adults now. Last one is 27. You know, big people, more or less. Not that I receive a lot of encouragement from them to enter politics. You know, more or less, especially I have one living in Jamaica. She's a software engineer. Called me a little while ago to wish me happy birthday. She was telling me, I'm going to send for you in Jamaica, when she heard the announcement that I was getting into politics, because, you know, people feel that politics is a kind of dirty game. But I don't really have that impression that politics is a dirty. We have people who could make it dirty. But I view politics as a means, a vehicle to make things better for us, for, you know, for young people, for children, for everybody. So that's why I am involved, and I think I'm being received pretty well.
Okay. So why NDP then?
Oh, well, that's a good question too, because to tell you the truth, since I started voting in 1984, I've had different views as to, you know, different parties, political parties. And one of the things I find is that we cannot be just party-centered. At some point, we have to be country-centered. So when I looked at the plans that the NDP put forward, I said, yes, I think we're at that stage where we need to have plans that can make things better, make life better for people. And so I was happy to join the NDP. I joined a good while ago, eh? Don't think it's now, but I am a person who believes that we must have positive change. You know, if things are not working, we must have positive change. And I am convinced that the way the ULP has been running the country for some time now has not really been making people's lives easier. And we could point out a number of things that we can look at. Because as I told you earlier, as I said earlier, my job was really interacting with people at different levels, seeing how they live. And, you know, people generally tell me about themselves. We exchange things. And I know people are really meeting it hard in the country. Economically, people are really finding it difficult to live on a daily basis. And I think we could do better. I know we could do better. We have seen better days, right? You will notice that I am speaking from a place of experience, having been around for some time. And I know that's one of the things they like to talk about, my age, but my age also have experience.
Question number 2.
I try to preempt you. But the age comes experience, man, and that's something I think. And if I go right to your question, ask it. Go ahead. Let me give you a chance.
All right. So my question is, as an older candidate entering for the first time, what are your thoughts on how persons view older first-time candidates, and why should you be considered as opposed to your younger opponent?
Right. Well, that's to me, right? One of the things I keep telling my children growing up is that you must not be limited, or don't let anybody limit you. And that's not for my own personal children. I'm talking here widely for those children who have thought. You encourage them to aspire. You tell them nothing is impossible. But yet at some age, they're telling people, listening to me, this is impossible. You shouldn't, and I don't ascribe to that. So not everybody. Okay, let me put it like this. The process was a democratic process. We had younger candidates, we had older candidates, and the people's choice is what we want. The people who feel that you are the choice because of what you can do, what you have done, and what they have confidence that you will do. You understand? So, as I said, people ask me, I agree to join. I think I am sort of opening the door, especially in South Windward, for younger people. Not that I'm going to be stuck there in concrete. You know, it's like it's a transition. And if the people feel now is the time for Andrew John to represent South Windward, how can we say to the people that no, he's too old or he's this or he's that? So to me, age is not a limit to me in achieving or doing something. As I've said, I've retired for about 10 days. I've always been active, whether at one thing or the other. So we'll see how that works out.
Okay, but it's John against John.
At one time, every time I meet a John, I will say to them, a John is a John. Until now.
But
we
I
have
think
to make the distinction now, right? We no longer can say a John is a John. We have to say, no, this is Andrew John versus another John.
Right.
You understand?
But when you, Dianna, comment, just one more thing. But when you are on the podium and you're telling persons to vote for you, in your case, are you more saying vote for the key as opposed to vote for Andrew John? Because on the ballot paper, you're going to have two Johns. And for persons who are not paying attention, this could possibly pose a little bit of a situation.
Yes, we have been looking at that carefully. And if you listen sometimes, when I speak on the platform, I always say vote for the key.
Okay.
It's very important that we make that distinction because persons, as you say, who might not be paying close attention might go in there and realize that they voted for the wrong John, right? But apart from that, I have been throughout this constituency for a long time. So people know me. A lot of them will refer to me as Teach. People know me, but we still can't take the chance of not letting them know that it's the key that you have to vote for. And it is very important because South Windward is a crucial place in this election. It's crucial in the sense that we have been the most neglected to me, constituency, and to my people in South Windward. I've had so many things that have been neglected and have not been taken care of. And so we have to decide now if we are going forward or if we're going to continue on that same plane, Okay. So the key is the thing for this election.
Okay.
And now, coming from the things that you're doing before, especially being a teacher, to now going over into politics, that is something different, right? Now, I haven't, if I go onto Facebook and I scroll on your page, I notice that as far as I have seen, you seem to be one of the politicians who people tag a lot or being tagged the most in a lot of positive things. So scrolling through social media, I form the opinion that your constituents receive you well or they have received you well. Do you feel like that is the case on the ground? And I would dare to say, have you spoken to persons of supporters from both political parties and how do they feel about your representation?
Right. Well, I was, to respond to that, I was kind of shocked yesterday when I encountered a video that a student of mine did, where she was saying, basically endorsing me. And it was touching to me, to tell you the truth. It was touching to me. And people will realize Andrew John is a person who crossed the line, crossed the bridge, the divide in terms of ULP or NDP. To me, it doesn't matter. I have all the people are my friends. So I have never been told in South Windward since being on the road for a year and a half to leave my yard. I know that people don't support me, because of their party affiliation and so. But we sit down and we talk. And one of the things I keep saying to them is that this is about community and country. You can't make it about party. You have to make sure that you look out. Because some of the people who I speak with who are really strong ULP, they admit to me that they don't like the direction in which things are going economically, in terms of crime. Because you have to be concerned about the crime rate. You have a moderate over the past few years from 2023 to now that might be averaging in the 40s, high 40s, right? Bearing in mind that we have not finished this year. In 2023, it was 55. In 2024, it was 54. Murders, I'm talking about homicides. So we have to be concerned that the direction in which our country is going must be of concern to all of us, not just to NDP or to ULP. And so I'm gradually getting them to see it as I see it. And so they would vote for Andrew John, right? They would, because the country is important to them as well.
Okay.
That's good for you.
Yeah, yes, that's all right for me. What are we like to ask politicians? What are some of the things that we could use to, well, not us, but your constituents, what they could use to hold you accountable when you win? What let's say are the three things that they could hold you accountable for? And I would like if you could probably look for some things that in your plans that may be different from other politicians.
Okay. One of my major concerns, and is not since I'm in politics, is people. The way people live, the way people interact, and so on. And that's one of the reasons why you might see people refer to me in a positive way. Right? So one of the things people can hold me for, accountable for, is to ensure, one, we do something about cost of living in this country. Too many people cannot eat properly, right? Because of the cost of food. Healthy food, it's difficult for you to face the supermarket. I try to encourage people sometimes, especially if you have children, to grow your own food as much as possible, right? But that's one thing I think I am going to ensure, right, as an NDP candidate, because that is what you asked me about the NDP. That's one of the things I noticed they have decided to tackle, right? If you listen to some of the plans that we have, reducing VAT, and people take that as a simple, they underestimate the effect of that. We are paying way too high. VAT is too high. And I love to see it even go further down. Then we talk about, I love, just recently, Dr. Friday came out with that plan saying that he's going to have VAT-free days. You know how important that is? That you could stack up, save for it, and stack up more than one, right? These things are happening in neighboring countries. And so we want to ensure that our cost of living is driven down. Another thing I am really, really unhappy with presently, and I would love to hold myself accountable, my people must hold me accountable, and they must hold the NDP accountable for, is the high unemployment rate. Because I had that background in education and I developed a relationship with students to the extent that they look up to me, they relate to me. And so when I see them unemployed, and I'm not going to even say especially young ladies, because sometimes you find you're home for a few years and old people used to say, and I'm not referring to me, old people used to say that the devil finds work for idle hands to do. So you find some ladies might be home, a young lady home for a few years, and some of them would tell me when I go around and I meet them, they would tell me that they have been home since college. They have not been meaningfully employed. They have not been employed. They might get a little thing here and there. And so now they have 2 children. Just this morning, a gentleman called me to say a lady wants a little help. She has 3 children. She's 21, right? How can we be satisfied that this is the direction our youths are going, right? And that's another thing, that high unemployment rate must come down. And I love the plans that the NDP have for the youth, because they have that youth guarantee pledge where they are saying to you, in the first term of our government, we are going to ensure all youths either a job or some training. And I am big with that. I know some of them look at me and say, Mr. John, you are the one who have to make sure this happen for us, right? Because they have either come through my hands or they have been affected some way by what I do, right? So that's 2 years, that's 3.
I have something just to add. So with those, bearing those things, some of those things in mind, right? As a teacher before, now you have students saying to you, like you said, John, you have to be the one to come through for us. Do you feel a heavy sense of responsibility to do that, or just the normal sense of responsibility?
Not really so much of a heavy responsibility, because these are things that I have been, accustomed doing, working on behalf of people. Let me give you an example. I went to the teachers union, as I said, to work as an industrial relations officer. There were so many issues that were affecting teachers, and I made it my business to personally attend to most of them. So much so that I saw a lady online saying she still calls me for advice. I was able to get this government, through force to appoint people to their right position. Not all, but a number of people who were languishing in the wrong position, because one of the things that the government did, and I don't like this kind of nonsense, where they tend to tell you things that either they don't live up to or they do it halfway. And one of the things they did was to appoint teachers who got training, who were graduates. They appointed them in the wrong grade. So teachers were losing thousands of dollars per year. They have, I don't want to go too close into it because it might be a little bit difficult for persons to understand. But they appointed them at a grade below which, and they come and they say, oh, we appoint 300 teachers. And these teachers, though they were qualified for higher grade, were just put in that grade and math. And we're getting less than persons who had equivalent qualification. And so I made it my business to deal with that. So when I see the government comes now and saying to us that they are going to do promotions, I want people to make sure that you look at the area where you're put, look at your qualification. You're supposed to go in grade E, make sure they put you in grade E, because if you go to grade F, it's far less than what you are entitled for, what you are entitled to, what you should get. So that's one of the areas. I said that to say that I have been accustomed looking after people's affairs. Once that is my responsibility, that's what I do, right? And I was identified, I think, what about where Marian House used to send children who were a little bit miserable to me for mentoring. I don't like to talk about myself much, you know. If you scroll my page too, you hear me talk a lot about myself. You hear people talk about me, you know. But they had identified that if this person spends a year or 2 years, Mr. John, maybe he might change his direction. And so young men, and if you meet these young men, these are some of my strongest champions, because they spend some time there at my school working and getting to understand me, and I understand in their situation. So I know that could be done. I don't like to give up on people or on children, especially, you know, those who might be facing challenges. So that's what I do. So I don't really feel pressured doing it. My shoulders are broad. It's a little bit because of the campaign, but they're pretty broad.
All right. So we are going to take a quick ad break, and then we will be back. And at that time, we would invite callers then. All right. So let's take a very quick break.
3, 2, 1. WEFM is SVG.
Sir?
Our industry relies on all of us to play our part. We take pride in showcasing our beautiful island, our craft, our cuisine, and our warm Vincentian hospitality.
Each of us play a crucial role in showcasing our vibrant tourism industry. We can create spaces where visitors can unwind, connect with nature, and embrace tranquility of our beautiful surroundings.
We need everyone on board to help us create an exceptional experience for our guests.
Join us at our National Tourism Community Consultations as we shape the future of tourism in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
It's everyone's business, yeah. Love it, embrace it.
Tired of sky-high bills and the planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 784-456-1501 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack, Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
For over 20 years, Cubano Limited professionally delivers top quality products and exceptional service. Located in Sand Hill and Kingstown, we are open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We supply animal feed, dog and cat food, animal supplements, a wide range of floral supplies, nursery pots, ground cover and shade cloth, and much more. We also stock a wide range of motor vehicle supplies, including automotive oils, filters for all vehicles, engine coolants, and much more. Email us today at cubano_1@hotmail.com or call us today 451-2911 or 493-7175. Cubano Limited, professional, top quality, and exceptional service.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And we are back with Activated Mornings program here on WEFM. And at this time, we are conducting an interview with Mr. Andrew John, the NDP's candidate for South Windward. So we are going to open the phone lines. I do have 2 other questions that I wish to ask you, so I'll see how best I could squeeze them in. But we're going to open the phone lines at this time. And already we have someone calling. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. John, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, well, I had to call because I want to go in the garden to see what the cold pit just now. So I make it fast to call.
Walk with your radio.
Tell me something. I know you from small. You're supposed to know who's talking to you.
And I have recognized
and I know
voice.
family, decent people, and people that honest and everything. How will you get between the set of people that dishonest, telling lies, when try to trick people? How could a good man like you get involved with these people? And the second thing again, you talk about on a development in constituency that you run in. No, before you was there, NDP was there for 17 years. You do not have no airport out there. You do not have Marriott. You do not have all the development like world class, track and field and all kind of thing. And housing, and all this lovely thing. People, some of that good at employment, some of that develop employment and everything out there. And people going back and forward, people buy so much trucks and so much business. How could you, so where you saying now you're going to deliver? What is it you're going to deliver?
All right, so you're listening off air, right, Stephen? Mr. John would answer.
Okay.
All right, walk with your radio.
You had a long question, eh? It's more than one part, but I'm trying to deal with you with some of them. Now, you must remember the old saying, right? That when good people stand and see things happening and they do nothing, is they're like upholders, right? So we can't stand by and say we are good and we are honest and we are this and we watch the direction in which our country is going, and then we say we are not going to join or we're not going to be part of it. And I don't know who you're referring to when you say we are part of bad or dishonest people. You didn't make that clear, right? But since I've been living in Argyle, I said about 30 years. Before the airport, we had people living in Argyle, right? And since the airport, we still have people living there. If you come to Argyle or the surrounding areas of South Windward and you ask them, have your life really become better in the past 5 years? You ask them that. You come and you could join me on my walks and ask the people, are things really the picture that you're painting of these trucks that they're buying? I have one, I have three, you could have how much you want. They're parked up there in the yard, they're not doing anything. I don't know if it's because of politics, but I'm not going to say that. But the point I'm making is that people's life need to be improved, and people are saying that to us in no uncertain terms, that they deserve to live a better life than you're seeing. We can't look at the airport itself and say, oh, it's that idle, and we have to look at it and wonder about how our children are eating in the morning and still look at it and be satisfied, right? We welcome the airport, and I'm living right next to it. We welcome it. But what we are saying, we need people's lives improved, because the airport alone, by itself being built there, cannot represent progress for you who can't afford to buy food on a daily basis, right? That's one thing. But I can't remember the other question. You could remember the other questions he asked, because he had a good bit going there.
I can't. But we actually have another caller, so let's see the call.
But you're welcome to join us, my brother.
Hi, caller. Sorry. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hi. Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Mr. John.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm hailing you up.
Thank you.
Yes, very decent person. I like decent people. You know, people with integrity and that kind of thing. They make you so. It make you feel like life is worth living, Mr. John. You understand?
That's right.
Give it that feeling of fullness. Yeah, so you keep on the track. You have young people with you. You have young, old, and medium.
Right.
No, you remember when the airport did deal. Let me get back with don't bother with stepping, eh? You remember there was a girl. I don't know the countryside, but tell me if they had a still off. An economic still off, a commercial still off. Because I remember when the airport did deal, they were sensitizing people around your area there. Yeah, to commercialize.
Right.
Did it happen?
Well, at the same time, I was telling the gentleman, it's not that it can't happen, but what I think happened with the ULP is that they felt building the airport was sufficient for us in the South Windward community.
Exactly.
He talked just a while ago there about the Marriott, That is basically a closed venture to me, right? Because past all the time, I'm not seeing the hype, the activity, that things are really happening. And I'm wondering how they're able
Marriott
to
or
keep it.
Holiday Inn, you mean?
The Holiday Inn. Well, he said Marriott, so I know it's the same one he's talking about. Yes, the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, there was to be a height of commercial activity. Now, another thing. When they build the airport, they have some people, I don't know if they get paid as yet. But Mr. John really should be looking into. They had some land and maybe they didn't have the correct document. That sort of thing. Right. And what I find surprisingly, that Prime Minister is a lawyer. And he know how land exchange was long ago. He could have corrected that and gave them, whether it's money or whatever, pay them. So I want to know them people still in the limbo and not being paid.
Well, I really can't tell you the state of it now, but I know there were a number of people who had problems, right? Getting their deeds, as it were. Because of some of the lands were family land. But I think they had put something in place to assist.
Put something in place, right?
Yes, I think they had assisted some persons. Persons have not been coming to me with that as an issue, really. I haven't.
Oh, they didn't. Okay, because I was just wondering.
So I believe most of them were paid, but yes, you have means. I think they have means and ways with which you could acquire title, rather than just by the administrative way. So I don't know if they dealt with it. I will ask because I'm still in that area, and I will ask. But in terms of the hyperactivities, man, no, we don't have that out there right now. As a matter of fact, when I spoke in Bayaboo recently, I told them about the look, the whole, if you call that, of Bayaboo itself, where they have not really come in and promoted businesses in the area. They have not assisted, and supported young people who could get into little businesses.
Bible was a hub.
Yeah, but
hub with the commercial activity. Yeah, very bright place.
Yeah, it is.
So when you pass by the bridge, what happened? Nice place.
They could have done a lot more, and that is one of the things I vow to do, to make sure that small businesses are supported and our education system is revamped. We are sending too many children out of school as dropouts without any skills, anything to continue with. And that is why I say to Roleza, we can't stand aside and say we are good, decent people, and watch people standing by the side of the road from 9 o'clock smoking and drinking and having nothing to do. And you are telling me that we are decent people and we must say anything. No, I am joining the NDP to get rid of this government here who have not met the needs of the people.
You have said it.
Right? We are joined. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
All right,
Thank
caller.
you very much.
Thank
Maybe Lisa and co-host, you all have a lot of questions when I chaperone his candidate. I don't hear them questions there, no.
Say that again. Start again.
I said, when the other side, like they have a chaperone, or babysitter, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, why you so?
I don't hear them questions.
Why you so?
Yes.
All right, listen. You too. But y'all troublesome bad, you know. Anyways, y'all appreciate it with the troublesomeness. It's okay. It's okay. All right, so I see that we have somebody who's been trying to call for a while, so let's take this caller. Hi, Dave. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I thought you all were not going to take my call. And I want to agree. I want to endorse with that last caller. Very conscious woman. And I like how she takes a critical look at everything. But to you, Mr. Andrew John, I don't know you. And Dave Roberts supposed to know all the politicians in the country. I don't know who you are. But I am so touched by what you have to, when you speak, I get the feeling that you're a humble guy and you really care about the people in your constituency. You're not bombastic. You're not yourself. You don't come over like that kind of braggadocious person and feel that you're better than some people. And this is what is killing us in this country, right? Now, people have all kinds of things to say about me because they think I speak too much. But I know why they're against me. Because you see, when you bring the truth to people, they say the truth does hurt, and I have proven that. But I just want to wish you well.
Thank you.
You might be a veteran, or you might just be making your first introduction into politics. But we need more people like you to bring back the country from where it used to be, instead of having to deal with all the criminal activities, as you mentioned. So I wish you well, and I hope you're successful in the general elections. Thank you. Have a good day.
You're welcome. You will get to know me soon. Don't worry. Come and look for you. Yeah.
All right. So the phone lines are. Oh, okay. So another call. Hi, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Jack. I want you raise some point. You smoking on the block, morning time. Yes, we agree to all that. But sometimes you don't think that's really a decision that most of these youth. Because I'm living in a community, and right now I could tell you, I'm a struggling man. I don't work. I have a little work going on at my home right now. And it's 3 days now I check in. Same set of young man who are in black sit up. And after me, I'm a beggar, but I could pay to get what I want to do. What's done. And it's just wrong the bush, and I see them every day on the black still.
Yeah. That's where we are now.
But whose fault is it, though?
Yes, exactly. The point I'm making.
That's why I try to find out who's fault.
Let me just say something, Nicole. Let me just say something, because as I said before, sometimes we allow things to reach a stage, right? We don't arrest them, we don't stop, and we don't try to put things in place to prevent them, right? And we have reached a stage now where this is advancing now. And I keep saying to people, we have to start at the grassroots level to train these young people. You can't go and take up some of them now, they have reached a stage now where you would have to try and go back to adult education. But it will be better for us if we start training them at the school level. We identify, because a lot of the children who are dropping out, they have potential for skills development. And we have not been doing that. When we started universal access to secondary education, I was there. I was part and parcel of it. And I was in disagreement with the way it was done because I was saying to them, and not only me, I'm not playing any hero here. We were saying to the government at the time, which is this government, that you cannot just promote and send people over without the requisite skills, right? You send people over into secondary school who can't read or write, and you don't provide some skill training or some remedial work for them to do. We spoke about it, they knew, and up to now, after how much years? Let me just finish. After how many years? We still don't have something in place. We still keep pushing them out at Form 1. I was at a secondary school recently speaking with some teachers, and I was shocked to be informed that a child was there for 4 years at Form 1. Now you tell me, how are we going to hold those children responsible when we have failed them? We have failed them, you know. We ask who to blame. We blame the children. But we are the ones who stood by while this was happening. It didn't just come. So, you know, this is over years of development. And I understand your point because I am going through the same thing. You can't get people to work, right?
Understood that, right?
Yeah, so we have to do something about that.
Isn't there like adult education, like the YES program, the SET program, where people can actually learn maybe culinary, plumbing, different types of
TFED program, the TFED program.
Right. If you notice, that has fallen down. In South Windward, for example, there is not one single place in South Windward for adult education in terms of skills training that these guys could access. And there's so many, we talk a lot about plumbing and so on. There are other skills, soft skills that people could learn, right? Easily and earn a decent living. I see, if you notice, a lot of the young guys who are driving those trailer trucks and so on. Young guys, you think if they get a job, they get some training to do something like that, you think they're going to leave, come on the black 9 o'clock to idle and waste time? We could provide that type of training for them. We had a situation where we brought in...
All right, give me, Mr. John, 1 second. Okay, caller, you're going to have to listen off here because we're getting a feedback coming through, okay? So, Mr. John, we're finished. Yeah, okay. All right, Mr. John, yes.
Right, so I was saying to him is that we brought in so many laptops, so many tablets, and just give them to the children. Now, I am not knocking anybody's program if they feel it is a genuine program, which I don't feel it was. And so what has happened, we have created children now who are addicted because these things were supposed to be controlled. They were supposed to be limiting in it, you know, in its reach for children. And we allow these children to access the internet at age 8, 9, 10, 11. We have children now, as soon as they get home from school, they are on the games. They're playing games. They're wasting so much time, and so they're not reading.
But is the fault in them getting these devices, or is it the fault of the parents who are supposed to be controlling these children and their usage of the devices and where it is they go with on these devices? Right. So I'm not sure if to necessarily blame the program, if the program should be blamed, or what is happening within the homes.
Right. So the responsibility shared, right? Because when we were given these, I remember I told you I was there.
Mm-hmm.
We were given this program where you could not access Facebook on them. That was supposed to be maintained. You couldn't go onto Facebook. There were only certain programs. That was the intent.
All right, not to cut you, but was a general meeting held, with, let's say, with parents in terms of what? So a meeting was held with parents in terms.
Parents were made aware.
So then maybe the fault is really with the parents.
Well, I hold the parents responsible to a certain extent, because if you bring these programs, you give it to the parents, you give it to the children. We still have to maintain in our system that control when it comes to school, right? But I will tell you where it fell down. What happened? The bigger children, they had the what do you call that? The thumb drive with Windows on it. So they were installing Windows on these devices, right? But whether it's from the parent standpoint or whether it's from the system standpoint, we cannot allow our children to continue down this path. It has to be monitored. It has to be controlled, because at the end of the day, the children are the ones who are suffering, right? Because I have 2 young gentlemen. One I think is about 11 and one about 14. And it's trouble I have to get them. It's like we are at war, because I am an educator and I will always be an educator, and I need to see children reading. That's bad. And it doesn't have to be a book. There are places on the same device that you could access, whether it's a book or the news or some information. But I just want to see that happening, and I would like to see that a change come to that. Doesn't matter who, and I'm not ascribing blame. I don't like to ascribe blame. I want solutions. We have to be solutions oriented. And I pride myself on being a problem solver, right? I like to confront problems and see how we could move. But clearly, this regime is tired. I could say it boldly. They are tired. They don't really have the will to do anything about these problems. If you notice that where the plans that they come up with to deal with issues that are affecting us as a country, you know, and I know people like to say, oh, they built this and they built that. Build our people. We need our people built up. That is my thing. That is my drive. That's my passion. Build our people up. So when you hear me coming, not really that I want to blame this or blame that. I want to see us find a way out of where we are going. So that the gentleman who called, when he need a plumber, he needs somebody he could get.
All right, so we have another call. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just hearing a lot of blaming of that I hear.
I didn't hear that.
But I'm really hearing too much blame on government for killing children being on devices and watching books and reading and whatever. That doesn't sound good. I grew up under the NDP regime, and I can tell you I suffered a lot. And I'm hearing you speaking about children not having things to eat and this and that and all that. I, as a young girl, was living in the Long Wall area. I used to have to go down where you all build up that future down there to pull saying all your money to get fish for my grandmother to cook food. When my mom used to send things from Trinidad in the custom, and you go there and you can't play them, they put in the sugar and the milk inside and say the Prime Minister say not to accept these industries. It's a lot of stuff. And now you are coming with you have to make so much change and you have been damaged over all those years. What used to happen to your barrels when you get barrels that come to the custom? And you go there and you can't picture it. It's action sale, you use the action sale every Saturday up there at the custom. So I don't know what is going on now, or so much things implementing, so much different things you all want to do. Look at when we did conventions before. What used to happen if we can't go to senior 1.3? What used to happen to the children?
You want me to answer you now?
And I can tell you a lot more. I will take a whole little speak, but I won't do it.
Okay. Well,
all right.
I used to be in Massey Hill as well, in Bayaboo, and Fishing Bay, so I can tell you a lot.
Okay. All right. Call us, would allow Mr. John to answer you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
The caller clearly doesn't seem to feel that there is a problem with cost of living, right? And the statistics will be showing something far different. We can't look at how we pull Cain long ago used to help, or I, as a youngster, used to have to go to tie animals out before. Maybe some of that discipline is needed now. Because one of the things I used to tell my parents when they come to me with a child who is not doing much, I say, what does he do on mornings? Or, you know, what responsibilities you give it? Nothing. So I don't want to blame the parents, but we have the parents. We as parents have a lot to do with getting our children to develop a sense of responsibility, right? So that they can do something for themselves, even if the government doesn't employ them. But that in no way excuses the government's lack of attention to the cost of living crisis. And one of the things I look at And I said, what measures have they put in place to tackle or to ease the burden of cost of living? What measures have they put in place to tackle crime? Crime is a reality. You can't try and tell me that murders were there years. What are we saying? So we don't have to do something about it to arrest it or trying to do. People tell me nothing can be done. Sometimes the Prime Minister doesn't even speak about the horrid crimes that take place in our country. Look, they found 2 people dead a few weeks ago. Maybe a few weeks, just about a week ago. I think it was Independence. We are yet to hear anything from the leadership of this country in relation. We are not talking about animals here, you know. And even people, they too concerned about the dogs and so on. We don't hear them speak. So my friend, we know what we went through, right? When we were growing up. Times have changed. And we have to make sure that we change with the times so that our children could have a bright future. Nobody could tell me any child is thing to crime or that child. These are learned, a lot of them are learned traits that we allow to happen. You ask about the school system, what used to happen, because a lot of people would say, oh, they didn't have time to go into secondary school. The thing is, if you didn't get to go into secondary school at the time, you were afforded a technical skill, whether in carpentry or in plumbing. Well, they didn't have plumbing much at the time. Basically, it was carpentry, and then you had home economics. Some of these people are the best cooks and the best carpenters that we have now. And they were then allowed to go into secondary school, right? I am not saying we must continue with that. All I'm saying to us, let us put programs in place. What is wrong with putting something in place to address? And that is why I say, as part of the NDP team, we are going to do something about it. Nobody could convince me otherwise. Something has to be done. We have to have our plans to put things in place.
All right.
I'm going to speak about it every time you see.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I could. Dianna, you had more questions?
No, you could go ahead. Yeah, but you could go ahead.
Okay. So let me just see if I could squeeze 2 questions. Try, and maybe if you could maybe be brief in a sense, if you can.
Yes.
So I've heard in terms of, well, it was you and it came out through an exchange that you had with one of the callers, right? Now, given that the country's largest capital project, which is the airport, and Diamond, which is expanding into a commercial hub, they both fall within your constituency.
Right.
What plans do you have to use these 2 things in particular for the development of your constituency?
Right. Sometimes I try to avoid, but the airport in particular has to work for us as a people. And I say we could encourage more visitors if we put things in place. We can't just look at the airport itself. We have to look at infrastructural development to accommodate and encourage people to visit. And that is why I highlighted, for example, we have a waterfall in Argyle. We could develop a nature trail. There is a Madeira Park in Bridgetown. These things could be developed. I say we could support the businesses around so that they could accommodate visitors, right? In these communities, support the businesses so they provide a better service for people, thus encouraging visitors, because for the airport to function effectively and efficiently, we must have more people coming. So that is some of the plans that we have in place. I know they don't want us to touch it, but it has to work for us. Similarly with the...
What do you mean they don't want you to touch it? Explain what you mean by that.
The ULP tends to make it sound as if the airport is a party.
Oh, okay.
Party thing. You know, it's their thing. Don't talk about it, don't touch it, and so on. So we have plans for that, development of that, so that it can work for us. And what I would love to see is for them to give us an account of how we are, how we stand right now, so we could get a better idea what we need, where we need to go. Give us an idea how much is owed on it, how much you pay on a regular basis, how much the workers, you know, that sort of thing. So when we get responsibility with, we could start hitting the ground on it. So if they give us that account, I will be so happy. And the same thing with the Holiday Inn. The Holiday Inn.
Okay.
Yes, we have to make that work. It's a big investment using most of it was NIS money, our money. When I say our money, you pay NIS, right? And so we have to get these things to work. We can't just have them sitting there, right? There is that thing right next to it. This complex, this sporting complex right next to it.
So Vincent Beach Sporting Complex.
Right.
Stadium.
They just have that there languishing. You develop that properly and you have that as a
You would actually use the word languishing in this case?
I
All right,
just leave
interesting.
it in, because they have not really fully developed it. They have not gone on and make it into a top class project so that you could have teams coming in, because for that area, sports tourism has to be vital.
Okay. All right. So my final question. You're a trade unionist, do you? Right. Still a trade unionist. All right. So what are your thoughts regarding the trade unions for the past 25 years in particular? And what are your, this is just a curious question on my part. What are your general thoughts in terms of the alignment of trade unions or the perceived alignment with trade unions with partisan politics?
Right. Well, I have been encouraging people since I started teaching. I actually joined the teachers union the same year I started teaching, because at that time we had principals who used to encourage you. So I became a member in 1984. The thing is, you need to be part of a trade union to secure your rights, and you need to know your rights, and you need to be able to shape the direction in which your profession is going. You could help doing that by being a member of the trade union. So I ascribe and I encourage that sort of involvement. In relation to politics now, right, we have to be very mindful, right, that sometimes we are not used as trade unions and then we allow the government to get the upper hand. And I speak specifically of the 1988 to 2001 situation, where this government rode into power on the backs of the trade union. And this is the same government that turned around and fired over 500 members of these trade unions. Some of them may not have been members, but still they are workers. And trade unions have to be concerned about all workers. Now, the point is that you must have some sort of memorandum of understanding, some contract then, so that you ensure that they keep to the word. And I know trade unions now have, they're trying to seek contracts. But the thing is, you have me as a trade unionist in government, so you could feel a little bit more comfortable. Not that I am any better than any other trade unionist who went into power, because we have not seen the follow through from the trade unionists who have gone on to the other side. I don't want to call nobody name, but we have some of them who sat down on the bench and signed dismissal papers. Sign the mandate, coming right out of the bowels of the trade union and sign a mandate to dismiss workers. Now, I talk about that because it's a very important question you have there. I may not be able to tell the trade unions exactly, but if I was still a part of the trade union, I would encourage them to be on the side of the NDP at this time, because we want better.
But do you really want
workers.
for them to be partisan? Because that is what you made reference a while ago to 2001.
Right.
Do we want to see a recurrence of that?
Well, remember,
of them
I
being,
said they must seek to get contracts that they hold the government responsible for, not just jumping in and, I don't want to get them to tighten too much a belt on us. No, that's not what I'm advocating. But as a trade unionist, you need to look out for the best interests of your workers. And I think they have to weigh that. And I think they're doing that right now, weighing how they could put their workers in a better position than they are now. If you listen, this week you heard the NDP announce that they're going to give a 50% discount on vehicles for workers with 10 years and more experience in the public service. Now, could you beat that for your workers? You have to look at ways and means. If we are saying to you, we are going to work to ensure that all of the workers who are dismissed are reinstated as soon as government is formed. You want something better than that to encourage trade unions to be part of that? Now we are facing a battle with this government as trade unionists right up to the Privy Council, for a mandate that don't come and gone. We still in courts paying hundreds of thousands of dollars. I shouldn't be saying we because you tell me, well, I say I'm still a trade union. But the unions are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees to fight a matter that should have been done away with at the first court. Should have been done away with. Any conscious government, any government that walked the metal would have settled that matter and moved on. Okay. But I don't feel it's a thing of thing. I think it's a matter of pride and so on.
Or I think what I've heard them also say is to be able to set a proper precedence in terms of should another situation like this arise, that there is something there to say you can make reference to. All righty. So
I just want to ask you this final thing before you go now. Seeing that you're here doing this political walk on your birthday, right? How important do you see this type of interaction between the politician and the people? And how important do you see this type of work? And how is it that you make time to do it and you decided to come here on your birthday and didn't say, you know what, it's my day, let me stay home. I ain't coming Laverne, maybe next week.
Right. But that's the kind of post where I am. Right, and that's why people respect me in my community and in South Windward. And I have every confidence that they are going to elect me because they know if I'm given a responsibility, I stick to it. It's very difficult now to manage so many things that I get involved in, but this I had to prioritize this morning. But they will continue when I do, right? But I had to prioritize this to make sure that people know a little bit more about Andrew John, right? And I know some of them will not, now knowing that it's my birthday, would be sending the gifts and the greetings and so on. So that's it.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. John, we are going to set you free. All right. We are going to set you free. We thank you very much for being here with us this morning, for taking the time, for being committed to letting your voice be heard, especially as we are quickly approaching the election date. All right. So any final words that you want to say, maybe in a minute?
Yes, definitely. Okay, I missed that opportunity. The 27th of November is an important date. I look at it as a change date, a time for change, right? When we go to the polls and we say to our people, our politicians who are now in power, that we are not satisfied with the way you have been governing. We are not satisfied. And one of the things I really don't like is the personal things that we are pushing. We are a people, we need to be better than this. Let us look at the issues, let us look at the plans for the future, right? And especially for our children and our young people. Let us make a difference. 27, go out and vote NDP. Okay, I say it any better than that. Go out and vote for the NDP. Thank you all very much for having me today. And I will collect the present on the way.
You know, when people throw about the parties, we getting invited to the party for free food and everything else, right? So now we know what the party holding today, okay? All right, so thanks again, Mr. John. Okay. And with that, we have come to the end of our interview with Mr. Andrew John. So we are going to head directly into today's ECCB currency exchange rates.